Howdy guys, and welcome back to another account review. Now these things have been pouring in day by day, and I'm sorry that sometimes it takes me a while to get to these. It's not because I don't want to, it's just that, you know, there's life. But anyways, if you're interested in an account review, do keep in mind that there is a queue at this point in time. But if you are interested, you have to join the Discord. The link is in the description below, or leave a comment on this video and I can send you a link to the Discord. That way we can communicate up there. Now your account needs to be either linked via Facebook, like Ersana's here, which allowed me to log in even though Ersana is a iPhone user, or it has to be on Google Play, and that's pretty much the only conditions there. And of course I can help you any way possible, but you have to tell me what content specifically that you want help on. But anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get this party started. Alright Ersana, so I've already taken the liberty and poked through your account because I am one of them nosy MFers, and from what I could see so far, your gym quality is fine. I saw a lot of your mons happen to be on sets, which once again, when I click on this and I see matching sets, I'm like, there's probably something going on here. And I mean, their sets aren't bad, but they're not super good either. I would say that they're pretty much average slash, depending on what mon you look at, it might be slightly below average. And the reason with that is just because you're compromising, because you're trying to get every mon on this matching set, which I understand you want to do for like optimal optimal damage and just optimal use of that mon. But the issue with having a mon on a set is that you're compromising your other mons, because you're not focusing on one simple mon on a set. You're focusing on multiple mons, which can be a very, very big problem there. So my suggestion for you, especially if you want to see an increase in the damage of your teams that you're using for whatever content, is simply to focus on one set at a time. Try and get that one set, like for instance of this Water Hades, even though I'm just using him as an example. Try and get this one set as tweaked as possible, and you know, replace gems or whatever, use the substat randomizer, whatever you have to do until that set is as good as you can get it, and then move on to the next one and not spread yourself dry with that. But that's my only suggestion for your gym quality, just to help increase and further your MSO career. Next up though, let's go ahead and move on to Golems B11. Alright, so we are here at Golems B11, and by your request it was figuring out a Golems team for Golems B11. So I'm not sure if this is what you're working with. Hopefully not, because this team composition makes no sense and would totally explain your reasoning of why you can't clear out B11. But the team I got for you is going to do the job without a doubt. So the team that I'm thinking for you right here is obviously the whole 2 sappers slash wave clearer team here, and let me see if I can get them out. So what we're going to do here is, you could bring your dark person in there, but since she's going to be the only dark type, I don't want to just put all that pressure on her to take all those blows. So what we're going to do here is throw in your Wet Artemis as one of your dedicated sappers. We're going to throw in your Light Indra as a dedicated wave clearer, which you do have a, I think your Draka's variant, so hold on, let me change that. Let me back it up real quick. Fire Draka isn't variant. Oops, I lied guys. Oops. Alright, so there's Draka, Indra, Wet Artemis, and then did I pass already? Or I think she's level 50 actually. And then there's your Fire Purse. So congratulations, this is your official B11 team. You guys have seen it here first. Obviously, as I spew out in all the videos, especially for account reviews, all of these mons need to be level 60, fully enhanced if possible, skill books if possible, gym game needs to be pristine, and Evo 3 if possible. So make sure you try and get these mons as tanky as you can and as efficient as you can. And both Wet Artemis and Purse, both of them honestly can be on HP attack. I don't see any other reason of you running them on anything else but HP attack. Doesn't really matter their set, but my Wet Artemises are both on Valor, but they don't have to be. It's really up to you, but HP attack to get the most raw damage out of those two. Obviously Indra and Fire Draka need to be able to carry their spot on this team being efficient wave clears, so you don't want to be stingy with those either. But that's your B11 team. I don't really see any issues with that as long as everyone's gemmed up properly. And yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and move on to Dragons B10 though. Alright, so here we are at Dragons B10. Now guys, do keep in mind, I don't do Dragons B10 because I believe it is a scam, but it's up to you, your time, and your essence of what you choose to do for Dragons B10. But this is my suggestion here. There could be better suggestions out there, but I figured running an all dark comp is pretty pristine and hopefully we'll get the job done here. But we have Dark Purse, that's going to be our main DPS going on here. You also have a Dark on my OG who has Weaken and Hunter, so we want to make sure that she is as crisp as possible as well, because you can use Weaken not only on the first mob of the dragons, but also the dragon itself, which is going to very much help your damage out if Amayoji can do her hunter skill, or of course when Purse gets her predator off. And then Dark Cupid and Dark Bass are here just as safety measures to hopefully protect the squad once they can get their shields up and just prevent any damage coming to your damage dealers. And that's pretty much it. Do I think you can auto? That's going to be very brave of this team setup, but that was my suggestion, at least going full dark, so hopefully everyone can share the pain and not just one mon get singled out, and do some work there. You also do have a light Indra, which you could bring here, but I mean, it's really up to you if you want to test them out there, because you could also run maybe more of like a light comp where you bring in light Indra, light Shinobi, you have your light Enkidu, and then someone else. So you do have options, but once again, I don't run B10, but those are my suggestions for you. If you guys have any better ideas or any other mon substitutes, feel free to drop them in the comments below, but that is my Dragons B10 suggestion. So let's go ahead and move on to Light and Dark Colossus next. Alright, so we're back. Unfortunately, Light and Dark Colossus is closed because I'm recording this video on the weekend. No big deal, we just have to use the power of our imagination. Now, my suggestion here for Light and Dark will be the obviously casual suggestion, and I am aware that Defense Down does not work on Light Colossus, but just because I am nothing more than a casual, I will include in this video my suggestion for the teams that you could use for Light and Dark Colossus. You can feel free to switch Light Enkidu out, but Light Enkidu I feel like is going to be very useful for the simple fact that not only does he contain Weaken, which can be useful in Dark Colossus, but he's also a Sea Striker, so it's not that big of a deal if you bring him in there. You just have to make sure that he's built in tip-top shape, just like everything else. But I'm going to go ahead and include my suggestion for both Light and Dark Colossus all in one in this video. Alright, moving on to PvP. So first we're going to take care of your offensive team here. Do keep in mind you do have quite a bit of options because of the mons that you do possess, so I'm trying to take advantage of them. This might not be the like say all do all composition, but I think it's going to be pretty solid for you. So we're going to keep Dark Purse in there because it's freaking Dark Purse, dude. It's freaking bats. That's all I can say about that. But we're going to go ahead and drop in your Dark Yuki as well. Now, Dark Purse is obviously going to be your Nukermon, and she's going to be able to supply everyone else with some of that SP, if I'm remembering her skills correctly. And Dark Yuki is here with her dual purpose of being able to apply sap to the other squad that you're fighting, especially if they have aggressors. And then also with her ability to do the SP Siphon, you can kind of control how the battle is going to go to some degree. So it's very, very helpful for preventing pesky mons like Fire Vault from getting their active off, or like a Light Leo, etc., because you prevent them on their next turn of getting that full SP and doing their AoE skill. Next up though is your, where is she at? Your Dark Wild Thing as well. Dark Wild Thing here will just be purely as a nuker. I think she's one of the strongest nukers that you have on both her 3 and 5-star skills. So make sure she's built up nice and pristine there to get a whole bunch of damage out of her, which should pair nicely, especially with Purse and your Dark Yuki. And that way you're keeping pretty much all of your mons kind of the same element, even though I try not to do that. But in this case, it very well may work out for you. And then last but not least, we will go ahead and throw in the girl that you're doing just super duper dirty here, your light purse. Now, light purse will have to be tanky for the situation to work, but she can also have a little bit of CC action going on with her shock. But once again, she will need to be built up, especially level 60 minimum, with some hella good gems with some resist up there, because she's going to be taking the brunt of the blows, but she should be able to survive while everyone else kind of picks off the enemy and hopefully bursts them down within a couple of turns. That was my thought for your PvP offensive method. Now, this is something that you could use, and if you want to switch it up a little bit, I would also say perhaps bring in your Dark Bass or your Dark Cupid. I do think Dark Bass may be a little bit more useful for you in this situation though. So you're running a completely dark comp, and the beauty of Dark Bass is that you will be able to have a shield up as well for all of your mons and hopefully prevent someone from dying at the very least, especially if they decide to target your Dark Yuki and Dark Bass. You shouldn't have much of an issue of your Dark Purse and Dark Wild Thing hopefully surviving. That is my suggestions for your offensive team. If you guys have any more suggestions, once again, drop it in the comments below, because I'm not the one getting PvP top 100 every day. Absolutely not. And not every day either. I'm never in the top 100 for PvP on the weekends. Never. But that's because I got other things to do than to do PvP in the morning. But hopefully this can help you reach towards at least closer to the top. Moving on though, we have your PvP defense team right here. This one, what you got going on is the complete smilers, because you have so many other mons, dude, but you're like, I don't want to use them. I absolutely don't want to use them. So we're going to go ahead and change this up right here and right now. So for my suggestion for your defensive team, it's pretty similar to your offensive, and obviously the PvP pros out there, feel free to correct me, but what I was thinking of was once again taking advantage of your Dark Bass and also your Dark Yuki, even though I think I might have passed her already. So that way we have not only a SP Siphoner once again to hopefully steal some SP away from the other guys, but she can also apply sap if she is ignored. Dark Bass is there to put up shields. And then another suggestion would be keeping Dark Cupid in here as well, so you have two shielders. But the issue of two shielders is that we may run into a scenario where either you can't kill them or they can't kill you. So if you could technically stall them out, that could actually prove to be very useful. And once again, we can throw in your light purse here to hopefully take some mitigation off your dark mons and kind of maybe bait the other person that is attacking your squad into focusing on her, while Dark Cupid and Dark Bass can get their shields up, and also enable Dark Yuki to slide in and with a little bit of damage, or if she's lucky, some sap action. But if I could find her, that would be lovely. But that was my idea for that. Obviously you can keep Dark Purses hidden. Once again, this does put a lot of pressure on your light purse, so it's not a super big deal if you don't want to use her, but I would just suggest using her, because my only other thought about this was perhaps dropping either your Dark Bass or Dark Cupid and putting in also your Light Jean. So you have a Light Purse and Light Jean, and then you have a Dark Yuki and a Dark Bass, and obviously Dark Purse will be hidden. That was my only other suggestion, but the main goal of PvP defense is just to make your mons as tanky and as annoying as possible, pretty much. Like, if you can't move because the defense team is so tanky and they just start getting all this SP and start spamming their moves, then their defense did a good job. That's my goal here, is just to make it as super duper annoying as possible. But that's pretty much it for the PvP side of things. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here, Ersana. Hopefully my suggestions helped for you. Once again, I will reiterate that your account looks fine. You actually have quite a hefty amount of Nat 5s, especially useful Nat 5s. Like, you have this Fire Wukong, Fire Shinobi, you gotta have Fire Draka, always solid. There's the Fire Sha Wu Jing here, Fire Purse, you got some Garuda fodder, 3 Wet Balronas, a Water Indy, an Evo 3 Wet Siegfried, which is, I don't know why I always have difficulty saying Siegfried, Maybe I say it too fast, but weird flex, but okay. There's another wet indie over here. What else we got here? Zubaji, Enkidu, 2 wood merlins, a wood garuda. Dude, you trying to join my clan, dude? I mean, it's not my clan, but you trying to slide up in there, dude? We got some dudes that can help you out. 2 light wendigos. You got a light shinobi, light Indra, light Enkidu. Don't forget light purse. We don't talk about light Odin. Dark purse. Your dark bast, even though she's down here somewhere. You even got a shadow. I mean, he's not Evo 3, but not a big deal here. And we don't talk about dark Odin either. And you also have a dark nightmare, which is pretty insane. So a lot of usable nat 5s in your team. So I don't want to see any progression issues going on with you from here on forward, dude, with all of these nat 5s that you're flexing. But I would just suggest you keeping up the good work with your account. Remember what I said earlier in the video, where you don't want to compromise so much with your gem sets of basically gemming up subpar mons and all of them being mediocre versus, you know, while it's not necessarily a good thing to have one mon be super duper OP, having one mon super duper OP means that I don't really need to tweak this mon anymore and I can move on to the next. So it's kind of like building up one team member at a time. So once you do go do the content of whatever that you're trying to do, everyone excels at things equally versus everyone just being subpar. That's my biggest suggestion. It just focus on making one mon the best as possible. But once again, if you plan to use all the mons suggested in the video, make sure they're booked up, check your enhancements, check your gems, make sure the trinkets are up there, and it should serve you well. But that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. If you made it this far, I thank you guys so much. And if you haven't considered already, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, because I know you're watching the videos and you obviously come back to see some more. And I'll see you guys in the next one.